This week on Goofing Off,
Cameron makes things on tutorial mode.
Drew talks about more cheap games on Games on a Budget.
All this and more on Goofing Off. Welcome to Goofing Off 3, Return of the Goof. I'm Kyle Glockner.
And I'm Cameron Blunt. So, Kyle, what kind of anime are you going to be talking about today?
Well, today I'm talking about an anime about blood, blockades, and battlefronts.
Sounds more like a video game. What's it called?
Blood Blockade Battlefront. Up next on Animate. Hello anime fans, I'm Kyle Glockner and welcome back to Animate. It's no secret that I watch a lot of anime and there's a lot I like about anime. But there are also a lot of things that I dislike about anime. One of my major gripes is the fact that almost everything takes place in Japan or the fantasy equivalent. I get it, it's Japan, it's anime, they're gonna write what they know. I'm not saying I expect anime to start taking place in Madagascar or New Zealand, I just think a change of scenery once in a while would be nice. Which is why when I see shows that take place in Europe or America, they usually catch my interest. So today, I'm going to be talking about a show that I watched over the summer, Blood Blockade Battlefront, or Kekkai Sensen. Blood Blockade Battlefront takes place in New York City, renamed Hell Salem's Lot after a portal to the Beyond opened up and let all kinds of monsters into the city. We start out by following Leonardo Watch, a young photographer who came to Hell Salem's Lot in order to help his ailing sister. After getting his camera stolen by a sonic speed monkey, he meets Zapp and Klaus von Reinherz, members of an organization called Libra, which is sort of like the Mafia in Hell Salem. Their job is to take care of any trouble that pops up in the city and to make sure that none of the paranormal escape the city. If you're still having trouble grasping the concept of this show, think Bungo Stray Dogs or, to an extent, Durarara. I really like the concept of shows like these, mainly because they introduce and build so many characters incredibly well. And despite the fact that each episode tends to focus on one character, it doesn't feel like it really takes away from the overall story. Speaking of characters, this is one of the few shows where I don't actually dislike any of the characters. Each character complements the others, and I loved seeing each character interact with Leo. The relationship Leo has with the members of Libra is very close to a parent-child relationship, or a sibling-type relationship. Many episodes showcase one or two members of Libra interacting with Leo, and we get to see how he grows because of their influence, and we see them learn a bit from Leo as well. One of my favorite aspects of this anime is that it's just fun. It's a very episodic series, which can go either way for me. In this case, I think it does both good and bad for the series overall. Starting with the good, the episodic nature of the episodes makes developing the cast simplistic in the sense that each episode can be a self-contained adventure between Leo and that character, but deep in the sense that each episode can go really deep into the character without sacrificing the overall story. However, this is where I would argue that Bungo Stray Dogs does a much better job. Bungo Stray Dogs manages to have a big overarching plot, while simultaneously establishing the same levels of character development as Blood Blockade Battlefront. On the other hand, Blood Blockade Battlefront establishes an overarching plot, but it just kinda gets ignored in the next couple of episodes. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Blood Blockade Battlefront is wrong for being episodic, but considering the fact that an overarching plot was established, then subsequently abandoned, kinda rubbed me the wrong way. Overall, Blood Blockade Battlefront is a fantastic series that I believe anyone can enjoy. It's one of those shows like Fullmetal Alchemist and One Punch Man that can be enjoyed by anime fans and non-anime fans alike. It breaks away from a lot of stereotypes and becomes something unique, and I'm incredibly excited for the second season coming out in the fall 2017 season. Plus, the music for the show is phenomenal. The opening was already amazing, but the ending is one of my favorite endings in all of anime. Just take a listen. Just listen to that song. Just watch that animation. Does it have anything to do with the show at all besides the characters? No. But it's amazing nonetheless, and I love it. Blood Blockade Battlefront was directed by Rie Matsumoto and animated by Studio Bones, while the original manga was written by Yasuhiro Naito. Like I said, the second season is just dropped, and I can't wait to go back to Hell Salem's Lot and see the adventures of Libra all over again. That's all I have for you this week, but let me know what you think by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animate. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner, and I'll see you next time on Animate.
I'm hungry. Do you have anything to eat?
Hi, Hungry. I'm Kyle. And no, I don't have anything to eat, sorry.
Maybe Monica will have something for me. Here's Cooking Mon Mon.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica Wynn and this is Cooking Mon Mon. For our next dish, I decided to take it easy and make the almond chocolates from the cute romance anime Kimi ni Todoke. It's Valentine's Day, so Wako stays up late to make chocolates for her friends to give to them. So, why don't we take a quick peek at the dish before we head to the kitchen?
Valentine's Day is coming up. In this episode, everyone talks about giving chocolates to their crushes, significant others, and/or friends. Sawako decides to give homemade chocolates instead, but she feels as though this might be too much.
Now that we've peeked at the dish, let's head to the kitchen.
Here are the ingredients that you'll need. The great thing about this recipe is how creative you can get with it, but I'll be sticking with the simple almond chocolates. First, you'll want to chop up the almonds into small pieces. This, of course, is to your preference. Make a double boiler, or use one if you have one, and add in the chocolate chips. The best way I found is to boil a pot of water and place a bowl over the pot. Then add in a tablespoon of oil and a pinch of salt. You'll want to add in a teaspoon of vanilla You'll stir the chocolate until it gets melted down completely. There's different ways to add the chocolate into the cups. I found the easiest way is to pipe it. You can cut a small slit into a Ziploc bag to create a piping tool if you don't have one. You can tap the tray to flatten out the mixture. Now it's time to add in the almonds. You can sprinkle the crushed almonds from before, top it with the whole one, or you could just keep them plain. Put them in the fridge to cool for an hour, and voila! Sweet chocolates to enjoy.
What did you think? Let me know your thoughts or tweet me at CTV Goofing Off with the hashtag CookingMonMon. I'm Monica Wynn, and this has been Cooking with Mon Mon.
Hey, listen, we're supposed to cut to a break, but I'm just gonna talk about anime instead. Alright, so if you really want to get into Monogatari, you gotta do the proper watch order. It's Bake Monogatari, Nisei Monogatari, Seke Monogatari, Classic Monogatari.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Hey, Cameron?
Jacob?
Didn't your parents, teach you not to run with sharp objects?
Not really. It never came up. Why?
Well, Sunshine's talked about this movie called Blade Runner, and I just think that's really irresponsible.
Here's Sunshine with Movie Snobs.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Movie Snobs, where we review the newest and best movies of the season. My name is Sunshine, and today we will be covering a reboot of what is considered one of Harrison Ford's best movies. Set 30 years after the original, we will be talking about Blade Runner 2049. For those of you that haven't seen the original movie, the concept behind it is that Tyrell Corporation has created robots, called replicants, that look almost identical to humans, that they use as slave labor on other worlds. The replicants, however, rebel, and they are eventually forbidden from ever being on Earth. If any escape to our planet, there are special agents tasked with tracking them down and retiring them. These agents are called Blade Runners. In the original movie, Harrison Ford is a Blade Runner, and one of the best, who is brought back to track down one last rogue group of replicants. To understand this reboot, though, I do have to highly recommend that you watch the original. While the reboot can technically stand on its own, there are a ton of callbacks and direct references to the original that a lack of knowledge of will really hurt your overall experience and opinion of this new movie. So, I highly recommend you go see the original before this reboot. But don't worry, I won't spoil either movie for you. Moving on to the new movie, which I promise not to cover too much of the plotline of. The story ties in somewhat with the original. This new movie stars Ryan Gosling, portraying the new generation of Blade Runners. These agents, however, are new editions of replicants that are programmed to be 100% obedient. Still tasked with hunting down older generations of replicants, Gosling is sent on several missions throughout the movie. The main plotline, however, is the search for a potential child born of two replicants. As the replicants were designed so that childbirth was impossible, this idea becomes very threatening to the image that humans have of replicants, as just robotic slaves and not an actual life form. There are a lot of layers though to this plot, and tons of stuff I could spend hours talking about, but I feel it is a story that is much better experienced than explained. Just understand that a lot of backstory went into this movie's plot, and it creates something truly beautiful. Now, as someone who wasn't a fan of the original when I first saw it, I have a very strong appreciation for this reboot. The style they used to film this movie and the overall feel of the scenes and the characters is very reminiscent of the original and extremely artistic. As someone who watched the original in hopes to see an action movie and was disappointed, going into this movie with an open mind allowed me to walk away in awe. Their location scouting team did an excellent job, as did their graphics department, as there wasn't a single moment where I didn't feel fully immersed in this new version of Earth and the places that they went. The movie was just spectacularly well shot and did a great job of sticking with the same feel as the original. Additionally, the team behind this movie created a couple of short films to bridge the gap between Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. These small pieces were extremely helpful in understanding where this reboot would go, as well as being just fantastic ways to advertise the reboot, as they were such well-done works. Looking to the cast, they all performed wonderfully. While Gosling did most of the talking, all the supporting actors played their parts perfectly. With a movie like this, it has the potential to have basically all its supporting characters just monologue exposition to the viewer to help understand what is going on. Instead, this cast did a great job to help you understand what was going on without directly explaining it to you, and allowed the story to flow well as you learn alongside Gosling's character about this world. The characters help peel back the layers of the story in a very natural progression, taking the audience along with Gosling. Harrison Ford, Robin Wright, and Ana de Armas created this fantastic supporting cast that, each in their own way, showed a different perspective on the conflicts throughout the movie, and drew the viewer into the overall experience. I think the director did a great job not to use these characters and names too much, as Gosling's character was really supposed to be front and center, which he 100% was.
I know.
Overall, I really can't recommend seeing this movie and the original enough. I truly believe that seeing this new Blade Runner reboot created a strong appreciation for the original, as well as gave me a lot to think about when I left the theater. It was just such a beautiful movie that really didn't depend on giant action sequences or great comedic banter, and instead just presented a fantastic and beautiful story that viewers could really get immersed in. While I am a little upset that you do have to see the original to fully understand what is going on in this reboot, I still believe that Blade Runner 2049 deserves an A rating. Let me know what you think of the new Blade Runner reboot, or even what your opinion is of the original in the comments below, or tweet me at ZTVGoofingOff with the hashtag MovieSnobs to let me know what you think of such an iconic movie. That's all for today though. My name is Sunshine, and this has been Movie Snobs.
Cameron, what's wrong?
I can't think of a good pun for Drew's game.
Do you know all the host bits don't have to be puns, right?
That's crazy talk. You must be a psycho. Not.
Here's Drew with Games on a Budget.
Hey guys, Drew Brown back again with another Games on a Budget. This episode is going to be a little different because I'm going to be talking about a game much older than what's usually featured on this show. Today's game is the classic 3D platformer, Psychonauts. For those of you that don't know, Psychonauts is a cult classic written and directed by the creative mind of Tim Schafer and developed by his company, Double Fine Productions. Psychonauts is known for putting Double Fine Productions on the map, and they would go on to develop other games such as Brutal Legend and Broken Age, two other good titles. Psychonauts was originally released in 2005 for the original Xbox, PS2, and PC, but despite receiving praise from critics, it didn't exactly sell well. It wasn't until 2011, when they released it on Steam, that Psychonauts had its time in the spotlight, where it sold much more than it initially did. Now onto the game itself. You play as Raz, whose voice you might recognize as Billy from The Great Adventures of Billy and Mandy, or Zim from Invader Zim, who has fled from the circus to sneak into a US government training facility disguised as a summer camp in order to achieve his dream of becoming a psychonaut. Here, Raz trains to reach that dream, and gets involved in some other shenanigans along the way. There's a hub world, the camp itself, and then there are the levels. The levels and level design are what really set Psychonauts apart from the rest, in that they're all inside of different people's minds. You could be in the head of your drill sergeant camp counselor 1 minute, and then the next minute you could be inside of a hulking lungfish's head. The gameplay itself is pretty typical for a 3D platformer. You jump, you attack, nothing much there. The game is fun, but it doesn't do much in the innovation department gameplay-wise. You do have a couple psychic powers such as levitation and telekinesis, but they aren't exactly part of the core gameplay. The story is pretty good too. It's very original, it starts and ends very nicely, and is even pretty funny at a lot of points.
Top of the morning to you, ma'am.
And good day to you, Officer Lungfish. How are you today?
Oh, damp and happy, can't complain.
Again though, what really makes the game a must-play is that's the overall design of the characters and levels. I mean, look at this dude. What is that? The overall art style and the design of the characters are very nice and look just weird. But that's what's really good about Psychonauts. The world is just something so weird, it's refreshing and interesting in a way. In the world we live in today of bland earthen tones in games, Psychonauts really was a nice game to go back for this episode. It was like going back to an old friend in a way. Psychonauts is only $9.99 on Steam, and I'm sure you could find it in used game stores for the good old PS2 or original Xboxes for very cheap as well. But hey, do you have any cheap games we should know about? Tweet at our Twitter at ZTVGoofingOff with the hashtag GOAB. I'm Drew Brown, and I'll be back next time with another cheap game.
Are you tired of watching entertaining content on ZTV's Goofing Off? Can't get enough of those PSAs? Well, let me introduce you to a commercial break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
So, what are you making today?
Take a wild guess.
Kryptonite?
No.
Dragon Ball?
No.
Batarang?
Nope.
Mario Mushroom?
Nope. All wrong. But thanks for the ideas. I'm making an orange lantern ring on tutorial mode. Hello everyone, my name's Cameron Button, and welcome to tutorial mode, where I show you how to make props from anime, comics, movies, video games, and many other things, while staying on a budget. So what's today's project? Well, do you want it all? Do you want to fly through space at the speed of light, talk to any intelligent species, capture the soul of any of your defeated enemies, and then use said soul as a minion to fight for you and do as you wish? Well, the solution? The orange lantern ring. And if you can't get one off of Larfleeze, then you'll just have to make one of your own. But before we do that, we'll need a shopping list with a budget.
The first step you want to do is to make the ring. You can make the ring out of clay, wood, candle wax, or anything else. I used a 3D printer because I wanted the exact measurements and finer details. The next step you want to do is make the mold. Mixing the molding solution, pour over the ring till it is completely covered. Then let it sit till it rubberizes. After it rubberized, remove it from the container and cut out the ring. Next step is to mix the resin with the resin dye. If you want to add some more sparkles to it, use mica powder. Mica powder will make it a little bit denser, but it does add a little sparkle in the sunlight. After you mix the resin dye, and the mica powder, add the catalyst. Once the catalyst is added, it will begin to have a very strong smell. Make sure to put your mold in an open area so it can air out. Move the mold with the resin inside to remove any air pockets, so it doesn't have any imperfections in it. You can speed up the process by applying heat from a heat gun or a hairdryer. The hairdryer will take longer and might have a bit of a strong wind. The heat gun will have more heat and less wind. After it hardens, remove it from the mold. Use a Dremel to drill through the band of the ring, giving it the perfect size for your finger. Then remove any excess at the bottom of the ring. After that, clean it off with water, a rag, and white toothpaste. After it's clean and dry, to make the symbol pop out more, simply add some acrylic paint to the indent part of the symbol.
And there you go. That's how you make an orange lantern ring. So what'd you guys think? Did you like this project or not? Any suggestions for my next project? Why don't you let me know by tweeting me at ZTVGoofingOff, and be sure to use the hashtag tutorial mode.
Hey Cameron, do you have like $5?
Oh, Kyle, I'm in college. Of course I don't. Why do you want $5 anyways?
Because I spent all my money at NyonCon.
NyonCon sounds pretty cool. Let's check it out.
Hey Goofs, I'm Kyle Glockner.
And I'm Drew Brown.
And we're here at NyonCon at Lakeland Community College in Kirtland, Ohio. It's an annual anime convention, and we're currently standing here in the dealer room, but we're going to interview some people, see what NyonCon has to offer. So, let's check it out. All right, guys, we're here at NyonCon with
Autumn.
Nice to meet you, Autumn. And I see you're in cosplay today. Are you cosplaying as a particular character?
Yes, Yukio from Amnesia.
Oh, nice. Is that a show game? I'm not familiar with it. Sorry.
It's an Itome game, but it's also turned into an anime.
Would you say it's your favorite game or anime, or?
One of my favorite animes, yes.
So is this your first time here at NyonCon?
Yes, and I'm quite excited about it.
Okay. Have you been enjoying yourself so far?
Of course. It's NyonCon. It's pretty cool.
Have you been to any other cons before? Like, I know Colossal Con's a big one up in Sandusky.
No, this is my first con.
Oh, first con overall. Well, do you think you're going to go to more in the future?
Of course.
All right, good to hear.
All right, so I'm here with
Zoe.
cosplaying as Diva, of course.
Yep,
Yeah, best tank, right?
pretty much.
Yeah. So, this is your first NyonCon?
It's my first NyonCon, but not overall my first con.
Which cons have you been to around here, like Colossal Con or Matsuri Con?
I've been to Akron Comic Con.
Oh yeah, Akron. It's where we're from. I also have one more question for you. If you were a sandwich, which one would you be?
That's a pretty tough question, man.
It's very open-ended. Feel free to put whatever you want on that sandwich.
Tuna sandwich.
Tuna, why's that?
It tastes good.
That's a good reason. Tuna is a good sandwich.
All right, now I'm here with
Michaela Muha.
Michaela. And what are you cosplaying as today?
Luke Woe from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Truly the show of winter 2017.
It actually was.
It was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was very heartwarming and an amazing show overall. Now, is this your first time here at NyonCon?
This is actually my 5th year going, I believe.
Oh, okay, so you've been here a lot. Do you like it?
I love it. This is one of my favorite cons, so.
Have you been to any other cons?
Colossal Con, Ohio Con, Matsuri Con, all the big cons in Ohio. That's basically it.
Yeah, Colossal Con and Matsuri Con are two that are really good. I like those a lot. Final question I have for you. If you were a sandwich, what sandwich would you be?
An Italian sandwich. I don't care where it's from. I'd just be the best Italian sandwich ever.
That is a solid answer, and I agree 100%. All right, guys, we had a great time here at NyonCon. We talked to a lot of awesome people and saw a lot of really cool things. Drew, what was your favorite part?
Spending a lot of my money on a lot of anime-related items.
There was money in my wallet at the beginning of this con, and now there is no money in my wallet at the end of this con. But we had a really great time, so isn't that the real value? See you next time. Well, that's it. We're halfway through the semester. How does that make you feel, Cameron?
Feels pretty good. Plus, now we can move on to the prequels.
I'm not sure I follow.
We're doing a Star Wars thing, right? We did the first 3, and now we move on to the prequels. And those 3 aren't going to be as good as the original.
No, Cameron. That's all the time we have for today, but be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram for extra content. I'm Kyle Glockner.
And I'm Cameron Blunton. Thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
Can I get a Minecraft oof?
Oof. We're sorry, Dom, that you're going to have to put... Ready?
Nope.
Okay.
Hello, I am Sunshine. Welcome to Movie Snorp, where I talk about Mario movie.
I'm going to move off camera.
Okay.
I'm off camera.
In Star Wars, Darth Vader is Luke's father. I do Movie Snorp well. Bye-bye now.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.